Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make Jake Paul's brand new house / the new Team 10 house. If you enjoy this video, please do remember to hit that like button, it really helps me out. And I've been thinking about making Logan Paul's house, but I'm not sure whether to do it. So if you guys do think that's a good idea, please also hit that like button for that and leave me a comment down below. I am really quite interested to see whether you guys would like to see that. And before we begin this tutorial, I have actually made the old Jake Paul / Team 10 house. You can find that in both the card system and the description below. I'm sure that you guys will be able to find it in the card system and description below, just in case you wanted to have a little collection. But without any further ado, let us get started on this gargantuan house. So, before we begin, I should let you know that this house will roughly require a 70 by 59 block area. That means that the house is kind of about 70 blocks wide and the depth is about 59. Now, you will need more space than this because there's a garden on the front and the back. So, do make sure that you have enough room at least for this amount of area, but make sure that you've got more than this, honestly, guys, because, I mean, it's a massive estate. You will also need all of the materials that you can see in my inventory right now. I'm going to begin by grabbing this top row, and you will also need the remaining materials as well. So make sure you got them all, and once you do, we can begin. So we're going to start this house off with a row of 10 light grey concrete coming up from the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're then going to go to the left by 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. We then want to connect that 30th block all the way down to the ground using light grey concrete. And we want to go up on top of this 30th block by 8 using the light grey concrete. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're also, on top of this block, you want to place, and this is a weird thing to place, I know, an upside down quartz stairs. Like this. So just on top of that block, an upside down quartz stairs. You then want to go up by 5 using the light grey concrete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You then want to go left by 1. And then left by 21 using the block of quartz. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Place 2 light grey going left, 1, 2, and then go down by 4 using the light grey. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to place an upside down quartz stairs underneath this, just like we have on the other side, by the way. We're then going to place ourselves, what we're going to place, guys, we're going to actually go left of the stair. So we've placed our stair, and we want to go left by 13 with the upside down, specifically upside down, quartz stairs. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Just like that. We then want to go down from this 13th block by 9 using the light grey concrete. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just like that. We're then going to go right by 9 using the light grey concrete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're then going to extend that 9th block towards us by 3. 1, 2, 3. We're then going to place, and this is kind of awkward, right? But you want to do like 2 diagonals coming towards you to the right. So it'll look like this. It'll look like 1 and then 2, just like that. You then want to go right by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You then want to do 2 diagonals going right, but inwards this time. So the same thing, but like 1 and then 2, just like that, yeah? And then you want to move inwards from that second diagonal. You want to move inwards by 3, 1, 2, and 3, just like that. And then you can actually connect that last block down to the ground using block of quartz. So you can connect that last block down to the ground using block of quartz. And then what you can actually do is you can take every single one of those like sticky out light grey concretes and you can connect them all down to the ground using block of quartz. So I'm not sure whether you guys will be able to remember this or not, but This particular part of the house that we are building up right now is it almost looks like a tower, like sticking out of the front of the house, like it's a rounded area on the front left-hand side of the house. That's what we're dealing with right here. That's why it's kind of like a weird shape, and it sticks out from the rest of the house. So we want to have something which should look like that. All right. And what we can then do, we can then go up on top of the, the sticky out area of light grey. Place 9 rows of block of quartz on top of the light grey. So that's going to look like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And these can be placed all up on top of the light grey concrete. And later on, we will be building a roof on top of this. We're not going to do it quite yet because there's quite a lot of the house to do, and I kind of want to do all of the roofs together. There's a few roofs, as you might expect, because it's quite a large house, and I would like to keep them all together, or at least I'd like to have the outline of the roof sorted out first. But the important part is that we end up with something that should look very much like that so far. That doesn't stop us adding detail to the actual tower, though. So if you start from the top middle part of the tower, so you're on the front, you're on the top middle front part of the tower, and you want to count down by 1, 2, leave a gap of 2, destroy a block, then destroy the 2 underneath, 1, 2, and then fan out those 2 blocks right by 1 and left by 1, like this. And we're just going to fill the center of that in using black glass. Now, if you continue with the middle part of the tower and you work your way down to where we have this grey band, and you leave a gap of 2 again, like a gap of 1, 2, and then you destroy a row of 4 coming down, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then destroy the left of that and the right of that, and then just completely fill this in using the black glass. And that is a little bit of detail that exists in the tower, just as it is. What we also want to do is we want to take the left-hand side of the house. You know where we have this row of grey that connects to the tower. You want to extend that row of grey downwards to connect down to the ground in a reasonable manner. And then we actually want to create a bit of detail in the house. And the way that we're going to do this is we're going to start all the way from the bottom, right of this vertical row of grey. You want to do this sequence of blocks, yeah? You might want to move the quartz closer to the grey. You want to place a block of quartz on the ground, then a light grey on top. Then quartz, grey, then quartz, grey, quartz, grey, quartz. You'll already have a grey there. So then you want to place quartz on top, grey, quartz, grey, quartz, grey, quartz, grey. And you should end up, last block that you placed, it should be a grey block. So you create that sort of effect. We're going to fill all of the right of this in, so connecting the tower to the row that we've just made. We just want to completely fill in this particular area using quartz block. As you guys can see right here, it shouldn't be too difficult to do whatsoever, so we're just going to do all of that. And also the part just up above it as well, so this part up above, we have to fill in using the quartz as well. And you will notice that we will have a bit of an area above the tower to fill in as well. It's only 1 row, I do believe, that is just above the tower that just needs filling in with the block of quartz. So you just want to have something which should look like that, really. And what you can even do, you know where you have the row of upside down stairs? Well, you can place a row of quartz stairs, upside down quartz stairs, connecting to the right hand side, because that row of upside down quartz stairs that you placed on the left will and should connect to the right hand side quite easily. What we also want to do is we want to place, and all of this is kind of like tricky to explain, but you know where we have this row of quartz all the way up at the top of the middle part of the build, right? If you start from the left hand side of your row of quartz, or better yet, if you start underneath this sticky out grey block, place 3 blocks of quartz going right, 1, 2, 3, and then place a row of black stained glass, And what you want to be able to do is from the right hand side, place another row of 3 block of quartz, if this makes sense to you. So from like underneath this block, you want to place a block of quartz and then go left by 2. And then you will have a perfectly centered row of glass, which you can then place. How many rows do we need? Like 3 rows? 3 rows of glass underneath this, right? So you can place 1 row and then 2 rows. I might just leave it at 2. Now, we'll go all the way down to the bottom because it doesn't really matter that much. We'll place a row of glass coming all the way down. And then where you've placed the block of quartz, like underneath the grey, you then want to place another grey, and then a block of quartz, and then a grey. So kind of like, you know, keeping with that looks like the number 3. Kind of keeping with the pattern that we have on the left-hand side of the house. That's kind of what we're doing. So grey, quartz, grey. And then you can just completely fill in around the window using your block of quartz, like this. So we want to have something which should look a lot like that, alright? So what else do we want to do around here? I kind of want to show you how the roof is going to go as well. So on top of this big middle part of the house, we're going to place a row of upside down quartz stairs. So this row of upside down quartz stairs wants to sit just directly on top of this big middle part of the house. This big flat bit, there you go. We then want to place a row of quartz slab that is 1 row, well, half a row above and 1 row outwards in relation to the quartz stairs. I'll show you what that looks like. It creates kind of like a cool effect. So like you want to place the quartz slab like this, so it's just like going around the top. But what creates an even cooler effect is if you then take out your stone brick slabs, and what you want to do is you want to, it's kind of tricky to place, there we go. You want to place a layer of stone brick slabs that sits half a row above that and a row outwards. So the stone slabs is to the quartz slabs as the quartz slabs are to the quartz stairs. That kind of like sounds like something that you'd like read on a test. I don't know why, but that's what you want to have. That's the sort of effect that we're going for. And as you can see, we're actually doing a pretty decent job so far. We have a lot of the initial house constructed. Let's do the middle part of the house now. I didn't plan on doing the middle part yet, but let's do it. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to, starting from this block right here. Alright, so this kind of looks like a sideways T shape. It's on the right hand side of the house, it's the middle part. You're looking for this block specifically, connected down to the ground, to the right hand side of the house, up above. Going left of this block, you want to place a light grey concrete. Extend the concrete towards you by 2. 1, 2. You then want to place 2 outward diagonals going to the left. 1, 2. We're then going to go right by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll then go to move backwards and connect back to where we first started to create this sort of shape right here. We then want to take all of the outer blocks and we want to connect them down to the ground using block of quartz. So we want to kind of do a similar thing that we did there on the left. You know, when we kind of like made that sort of towery sort of shape? Same sort of thing here. We're doing pretty much the same sort of thing. So we're just going to connect it all down to the ground, and in this case I'm connecting the ground to it. And we are then going to add a little bit of detail to it because there is some detail in this. It's like a little balcony, this part basically. It's like got a door and everything. It's really kind of cool. So that's what we want to have so far. We're going to fill the center of it in using a block of quartz. We're also going to create a door for this. The door is going to be like right in the middle, right? So if this is the middle block, which it is, left of this, we want to place 2 light grey coming up, 1, 2. And on the right hand side, 1, 2. We want to connect them then together in the middle, like that, to create that sort of shape. And then we can actually just like fill in next to the door using block of quartz like this. If you can just fill in around the door using block of quartz. And then you can actually just like build up blocks and blocks and blocks of quartz until you eventually hit the top of this. You should hit these stairs. So we should just have something which should look like that, really. Okay? Alright, perfect. Around this, though, is also, like, you want to have a little bit of a barrier, kind of. So, across this front row of 5, we're going to place a quartz block here, and here, and here. We'll also place one in the middle on the left, one on the middle in the right, and from here, you can either connect them all together with a layer of quartz slabs on top, or what I think may look better is if you connect them with quartz slabs kind of like on the same level, if that makes sense. So, like, if you connect them together at the top, such as that, might look better. It's up to you, you know, whether you want to do that or not. So, what do we do next? There's also a window on this thing. So, if you take the middle block on the front, where we have this block of quartz, move down one, destroy that, place a light grey, then destroy 2 blocks underneath that, 1, 2, place glass in there, and then destroy literally all the way around the glass and replace it with light grey concrete like this. Then you will have yourself a nice window. What do we want to do next? Well, the next thing that we're going to do, and this is, you know, this is all kind of like tricky to do. If you take the bottom right hand corner of the window, which is this light grey block, you move to the right of that. You then move 1 block down, and you take this block, and you take the lower half of this block, and place 3 quartz slab coming out. So like 1, 2, 3 in that position. Just like that. You then go left of that 3rd block by 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, just like this. And then you can connect that down to the ground, actually either using block of quartz or your old pal pillar quartz block. I'm not actually sure which would look better. We can destroy that top quartz slab, and we can replace it with a pillar quartz block. Again, it depends what you prefer, but you can either use a pillar quartz block or you can use a quartz block. It's really inconsequential which one you do. It's up to you, whichever you think looks better. I'm going to go with the pillar quartz block just because I've done that already. But now that we've kind of like created this, what this is, it's part of a staircase, because what we can now do is we can use our quartz slabs and we can take, like, you know where the quartz slab connects here on the right? Extend one coming out the front, and then we're actually going to create like a line of quartz slabs coming down to the ground. Now this is actually kind of tricky, right? Like we can't place them conventionally, so we're gonna have to like place one here, and then like one here. So we'll have to place it like here, here, and here, if that makes sense. So like just coming down, gently floating down to the ground like that. Yeah, that looks fine. Alright, so now that's done, guys, what we're going to do is we are going to work on the actual entrance itself. So the entrance is going to sit very nicely in between the bottom of the left-hand side of the house and the right-hand side of the house. And what we want to do is we want to connect the left to right together using 2 rows of block of quartz. So we want to do like 1 row, connecting the left-hand side to the right-hand side. And then another row, just 2 rows, left to right. On top of the right block, which is this one, the very right-hand side. So just to show you like what we've done here, connect to the left-hand side to the right-hand side. We then want to take the very most rightest of blocks, and we want to place a row of 9 light grey concrete coming up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just like that. And we then want to go left by 1, up 1, left 1, up 1, left 1, up 1, left by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're then going to go down 1, left 1, down 1, left 1, down 1, left 1, and then we are going to connect all the way down to the ground. So we want to have something which should look very much like this. And then we're just going to fill all the way around this in using a block of quartz. Basically, we're just going to use a block of quartz to fill in around this doorway right here. And once we have filled in around this doorway, we can actually, you know what, we'll probably do the door itself. So the door's like a nice big like black glass doorway. It's kind of cool. We'll tackle that next, I suppose. So now that we have the doorway complete, we can now, inside of this, we want to begin by grabbing the black concrete, and we want to place a layer of black concrete that sits directly around the inside of the light grey. So very much like this, we want to have a layer of black concrete that just sits very nicely inside of the layer of light grey, just like that. We then want to place, so if you take like where the middle of the door is, and it might be easier to like place a layer of like block of quartz or something underneath the door. If you find where the middle of the door is, which is like right here, and you take the left block and place 3 black coming up from it, 1, 2, 3, and you take the right and you place 3 black, 1, 2, 3, connect them together at the top, extend them left and right like this, and then if you take those same blocks and you go up by 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You connect them at the top and you go left and right, and then you can actually fill in all but the very center 2 blocks at the bottom. Fill in all of this using black glass except for those 2 blocks at the very bottom middle, because that is where the actual door itself is. And then you should end up with something that should look like that. And whether you want to place a door or whether you want to leave it blank is, of course, completely up to you. I'm not going to tell you where to, and if you want to place anything, that's completely up to you, of course. So once you have that sorted out, we can place the stairs. So this big giant doorway, this big giant entrance, of course, requires some equally large stairs. So we're going to place a row of stone brick slabs starting from, you know, where we have this quartz slab that touches the floor. Well, if you start 1 row inwards from this, place a row of 11 stone slabs going left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's stone brick slabs, of course. And then place a solid block of quartz to the left of this. And then what you want to do is you basically want to copy the stone slabs that you have on, or the quartz slabs that you have over there on the right. So this quartz block, you want to have a quartz slab poking out the front of it. You want to take the quartz block and you want to go behind it, up, behind, up, behind, up, behind, up, behind, up, so that we have this. And then you can take the lower half that you can place a block going backwards, and then you can actually connect it down to the ground using quartz blocks, and you can place a pillar quartz block on top of this. I've done that quite fast because if you take a look at the right hand side, that you've pretty much got literally the exact same thing, yeah? And then if you take the lower half of the pillar quartz block and you extend it to the left using your quartz slabs, you want to be able to connect it to the actual like side of the house. Like, you want to be able to connect it to the corner of the house like this. So you'll end up with something that should very much look like that. That's looking quite good if I do say so myself. And what we then want to do is we want to create like a feature around the slabs. So we're going to place a block of quartz coming down from the corner, and then every other block underneath the quartz slabs, we actually want to place a quartz block to create like this sort of shape like this. And we want to also do it coming towards the back of the house like this. And then we're going to place a row of block of quartz underneath this, like this, to create kind of like, I don't know how to describe it, you know, kind of like a sort of like railingsy sort of looking deal. And then we're just going to connect those blocks that are connected to that row of block of quartz down to the ground. So the effect that we're looking for should very much look like that. I'm sure that you guys can see what we've done there. We're then going to do a similar deal on the right hand side. So we'll take like the corner here and we'll extend it down, and then every other quartz block we want to like extend down. we want to place a row of quartz underneath this, and we want to carry through those blocks all the way down to the ground, like this. So we create kind of like a sort of like railing sort of thing. We then want to create a solid surface. So where you have the row of block of quartz just before the ground, we're going to fill this area in. And this is going to create a, you know, just like a large porch area using the block of quartz. So we're just going to fill in this large porch area using block of quartz like this. And it's just going to be a way that we can actually like walk around the front of the house, and we'll of course be able to, from this, we'll be able to actually walk into the entrance ways. So you guys can kind of see what I'm doing here. It also lines up nicely with where the bottom of the entrance is as well. And well, I don't know what else to tell you. That's exactly what we're aiming to do, and surprisingly enough, we've actually managed to do it without too many hiccups. So we're just going to fill this in like this. And what we will then want to do is we will want to elaborately, once you have filled that in, like that, we want to connect this row of quartz of stone brick slabs to the top here. So what I'm going to suggest is you take this top row of block of quartz and you place a row of stone brick slabs coming out from that. And you want to meet them in the middle. So like add a row of stone brick slabs coming towards the house from the bottom, and then one at the top, like that. And then you'll notice that you've got 2 rows in the middle. Use those 2 rows in the middle like this. You just want to like place a row of stone slabs, or I keep saying stone slabs, but stone brick slabs in between. So like you've got 2, 2, 2, if that makes sense. So you've got 2 rows of each, gently coming up towards the top. And I know that you have gaps here, like this, but that is unimportant because we will be filling this area in with bushes, and you won't be able to see any of it. So far, you want to have something which should look like that. That's looking fantastic, ladies and gentlemen. That's exactly what we're aiming for right here. And once you've got that sorted out, we can then move on to the next part. So the next part, actually, you know what, thinking about it, yeah? What we could do is we could make the 2 large pillars at the front of the house. So where we have the pillar quartz blocks, if you raise up these pillar quartz blocks, and this is, you know, kind of tricky. You raise up the pillar quartz blocks until the pillar quartz blocks are as high as the stairs that you have, these upside down stairs that you have up at the top of the house. So like that. And this row. So 2 rows coming up as high as these stairs. Is that as high? Is that as high as it? Yeah. As high as these stairs that you have coming all the way up at the top of the house. So now that we have 2 rows of pillar quartz block that are equal in height to the upside down stairs, we want to take the blocks first from the top, so the ones not at the top, 1 row down, we want to connect them together using pillar quartz block. We also want to connect those same blocks to the house itself, just like this, to create kind of like a nice box shape, just like that. We're going to destroy the top pokey out pillar quartz blocks, because we probably shouldn't have placed those in the first place. And we are then going to place a layer of quartz slab that goes all the way around the top of the outside of the frame that we have just made. So we're going to place a row of quartz slab going all the way around the top of the outside of the frame that we've just made. We're then going to place a row of upside down quartz stairs that sits on top of the quartz slab. So we're going to place quartz slab, upside down quartz stairs coming outwards on top of the row of quartz slab that we've placed like this. We're then going to place a row of stone brick slabs that sits half a row above and outside of the upside down quartz stairs. And you're going to end up with a very cool effect that should look very much like this. So you can see that you've got a really nice looking frame there. You can even fill the center of this in using like, you could either use like stone brick slabs, or you could use quartz slabs, or you could use, you could use whatever, I guess. But I'm going to fill the top of this in using stone brick slabs. And the reason for that is because a large majority of this roof is actually made out of stone brick slabs. So I'm kind of like just keeping with the theme of it. I'm just going to fill the top of this in using stone brick slabs. And the reason that I am filling it in, the reason that I'm just filling it in the first place is because like now that when we look up, we can actually see these stone brick slabs, which is kind of cool. I actually kind of like that. So once you have done that, ladies and gentlemen, we probably should work on the right-hand side of the house. So we've done a large portion of the house now, the left-hand side of the house especially. Let's move to the right-hand side of the house and let's get things started. So to begin, we're going to take this light grey block, the one that started this all off, like this row of light grey that we extended up and then extended left. We're going to take the top block in this row of light grey and we're going to extend it up by a further 8. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're then going to place an upside down quartz stairs on top of this block, and then we're going to extend those quartz stairs all the way to the left. So they should hopefully connect to the row of quartz stairs that we have on the left hand side. What we also want to do is we have a row of light grey on the left and a row of light grey on the right, connecting from top to bottom. If you start from, on either side, if you start from the bottom and you place this sequence of blocks, you place quartz block, light grey, quartz, light grey, quartz, light grey, so on and so forth, you want to create this pattern of blocks coming up from the ground, coming all the way up to the top. And not only do you want to have this on the right hand side, but you also want to have this on the left hand side as well. So left to right, left to right, left to right, you want to have the light grey, quartz, light grey, quartz, so on and so forth, coming all the way up to the top of the build, just like that. What you then want to do is you want to, starting from the bottom right hand side of the build, so we're here again, you want to take this bottom quartz block and you want to extend it to the left by 1 using block of quartz. Place a white concrete going left of that and go up on top of the white concrete by 3. 1, 2, 3. Do 2 up left diagonals, 1, 2, and go left by 2, 1, 2. Do 2 bottom left diagonals, 1, 2, and connect down. Take the block that you connected down from and do 2 upper left diagonals, 1, 2, and go left by 2, 1, 2. Do 2 bottom left diagonals, 1, 2. Connect that down to the ground. Take the block that you connected down to the ground and do 2 upper left diagonals, 1, 2. Go left by 2, 1, 2. Then you want to do 2 bottom left diagonals, 1, 2. Connect down to the ground. Not like that. There we go. And then you want to take the block that you connected down to the ground, do 2 upper left diagonals, 1, 2. Then go left by 2, 1, 2. Do 2 bottom left diagonals, 1 and 2. And then connect all the way down to the ground, just like that. And the effect that you should have should look very much like this. You can then fill in around these empty spaces using your block of quartz. What have we just made? Well, Jake Paul apparently has a lot of cars, or at least I guess, it's not just his house, I suppose, but there's quite a few people living there. These are 4 individual garage doors, which is insane because I have the one and I'm pretty happy with it, but apparently we need 4 garage doors. It must be a huge garage, and we're going to fill up above this in using block of quartz. So we're just going to fill these 2 rows in using block of quartz like this, just 1 row, and then we're just going to do 2 rows like this. It's actually a bigger row than I thought. And then inside of the garage doors, like inside of the empty space of all of these 4 garage doors, we want to place grey concrete, the dark grey concrete, and we want to make garage doors out of dark grey concrete. And that's all I have to say on that. Like, you just want to fill in all of the empty space using dark grey concrete like this, just to form garage doors. And it'll just look nice because they really do contrast very well with the white concrete and the quartz, and even the grey concrete. Like, it contrasts really nicely. Like, they really do pop, and they look really nice like that. So what are we going to do next? So the next thing is, and this, I think the best way to explain it is this, right? So you can see that we have 2 garages on the left, 2 garages on the right. So if you take the middle of the left 2 garages, so this is like the middle row, you follow it upwards. In this, take this light grey concrete and extend it towards you by 1. Extend that light grey left by 3, 1, 2, 3, and right by 3, 1, 2, 3. Place block of quartz on top of this, and take the left block of quartz and extend it all the way up until that block of quartz sits just underneath the roof. And you want to take the right hand side and you want to extend it up until it sits just underneath the roof. You then want to place upside down quartz stairs on top of this, connecting to the roof. And you might even want to like destroy the quartz stairs blocks in the middle so that the quartz stairs connect like this, so like they're rounded on the corners instead. You want to place light grey concrete at the base of this. So inside of this shape, you want to place light grey concrete. You want to extend the left hand side and right hand side up by 2. Actually, by 3, I do apologize. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You then want to connect them in the middle diagonally. So 2 diagonals should do it. 1 from one side and then just like 1 diagonal from the other side. Then you can just fill the center of this in using a block of quartz just like this. And you should end up with this sort of shape. And what you can then do is you can fill the middle of this in using black stained glass like that. And underneath this, we're going to place a row of quartz slab that is 1 row shorter on either side underneath, like that. And then we're going to then do that again, and we're going to shrink it by 1 either side. And then we'll finish that off by placing just a singular slab underneath, like that. And then if we do the same thing but on the right hand side, like you have the 2 garages on the right, you take the middle, you follow it up to the grey, you place a light grey, and extend it left and right by 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then you place a row of quartz on top. And take the left and right hand blocks and extend them up until they are 1 block away from the top. We place upside down quartz stairs on top of this, connecting together to the roof. Like that. We're going to we destroyed the quartz stairs behind this so that we can actually join, so that we can actually have like a roof that's all joined together using upside down quartz stairs. It like looks nice on the corners now. We're going to place a row of light grey concrete at the base of this, and we're going to extend the left and right hand sides up by 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We're then going to meet those 2 blocks in the middle using light grey like this. We're going to fill the middle of this in using black stained glass, like that. We can then fill the rest of the area itself in using block of quartz, like so. And then underneath this, we're going to place a row of quartz slabs that is 1 row shorter on either side. And again, and again. So we will end up with something that should look exactly like that. And as you can see, those 2 windows are very perfectly centered, like right in the middle. They really do make a difference. And what you can then do is you can then just like fill in behind this using block of quartz to just fill in all of the empty space. Although I will tell you guys that there is a small circular window in between the 2 windows that we've just made. I'll show you guys the positioning of that afterwards, after we've placed all the block of quartz, because all it'll mean is destroying 5 blocks. Yeah, all it'll mean is like destroying 5 blocks. And that's all we'll have to do. So we're just going to build all of this up. We're going to place all of this block of quartz, and we will then, once we've done that, once we have this, we can then take the middle of the space in between these 2 windows. You want to take like the highest point, not the highest point, where we have the rows of 4 light grey. You want to take the top of the row of 4, find the middle of the middle, destroy that block, place a glass, and then just destroy like up, down, left, right around this and place light grey concrete inside of it, just to create a window, just like a circular window, just on the front. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a lot of the front of the house complete. We've done loads here. Once you've done that, we can now move on to these sides, and we'll tackle the roof and everything all in one go. So once you've done that, come to the left-hand side or right-hand side of your build. It doesn't matter which. On the left-hand side or right-hand side of your build, you want to take the roof, which is just a quartz stair, and you want to extend it backwards by 34 using upside-down quartz stairs. So that's 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's start again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. We're then going to extend that 34th block all the way down to the ground using light grey concrete, just like this. We are then going to cut it in the middle. You have a row of light grey that pretty much cuts the entire build in half. It wants to do the same on the side of the house, so we're just going to slice it in half using light grey concrete. You'll very easily be able to see where you do it. Like if you look at the front now, you can see why we might have done that. Then on the left-hand side and right-hand side, we basically want to have the same pattern. You know, like this pattern where we have like starting from the ground like a block of quartz, light grey, block of quartz, light grey. We want to have this same pattern embedded on the side of the build as well. So it's basically more so on the corners of the build you want to have that pattern. And we want the same on the back as well. So we want like block of quartz, light grey, block of quartz, light grey, so on and so forth, coming up from the bottom all the way up to the top. Whoops, just like that. You guys will be able to do that no problem, I'm sure. Then the middle part of this is strictly block of quartz. I couldn't find the left-hand side or right-hand side of Jake Paul's giant mansion, and I managed to find like a I managed to find a really good view of the front and a really good view of the back as well, and I couldn't find the sides, so I'm leaving them blank. If you know of windows and stuff that exist on Jake Paul's big giant mansion, then add them in yourself, because I don't know that they're there. And usually the rule is, especially like, you know, with like cartoon houses and stuff, and this applies as well, it's like, you know, somebody famous's house, then if I don't know what's there, I'm gonna leave it blank, because that way, if you do know better than me, which is more than possible, I'm sure that you guys do, then you can add it in for yourself. Like if you know that there's some big giant cool windows or something on the back, then or on the sides rather, then please add them in. In a lot of cases, like I can do as best as job as I can with like the images and stuff, and like doing a little bit of research, but I won't know as much as you guys who do like watch all of the videos. Like it's the same sort of stuff with whenever I do a cartoon house, whenever I do a movie house, comic book house, whatever the case may be. You guys, if you are really into whatever it is I'm building from, then you will probably know better than me what, like, all small details that may or may not exist in a particular build, and that's perfectly fine, and I hope that you guys do indeed add those in if you do know better than me, which you probably do. So we're just filling in the left-hand side of the house now. There's quite a lot to fill in. The house doesn't go insanely far back, but it does go back a fair amount, and not only are we going to have to do this to this side of the house, which is the left-hand side of the house, but we will also have to do it to the right-hand side of the house also, which is a bit of a shame because it is a huge area to do, but oh well, what can you do? So that's what the left-hand side of the house looks like. Let's move to the right-hand side of the house now. So if we come all the way over to the right-hand side of the house, we want to do literally the same thing. Alright, so is there a way to bypass this actually instead of having to... okay, so here's something we could do, right? So if you take the quartz stairs that we have, on the top front right-hand side of the house, you can extend this quartz stairs backwards, and the goal of this is to roughly match it up with the quartz stairs that you have on the opposite side. So like if you then came to the opposite side of the house, which we just made, you take this quartz stair that we connected down to the ground, you can extend this quartz stair over this direction. It saves a lot of count in this way. You can extend it all the way over to this direction. And the goal is, of course, perfect, is to connect them together like that. In which you can then connect the corner down, so you could then connect this corner block down all the way down to the ground using your light grey. And then we can cut the house in the middle, and you can actually not only cut the right hand side of the house in the middle, like with your light grey, but you can cut the back as well. So like you can even extend that row of light grey all the way across the back as well. Just like I said, I mean, just cut it all the way across the back as well, using your light grey concrete straight through the middle like this. Ooh. And then we can continue to fill this in as we have been doing anyway. So that means adding in all of this block of quartz and light grey detail. We've done this enough now, so I'm sure that I don't have to explain this to you. It's just quartz, light grey, quartz, light grey. Especially like where it's most prevalent is on the corners of the build, and it always starts off the same. You have a block of quartz at the bottom, light grey on top. So you just want to apply all of this patterning coming all the way up the corners like that. Whoops, like that. And then we're just going to fill the center of this in using block of quartz. This is the right hand side of the house. We're just going to fill from the bottom all the way up to the top. The back part of the house also doesn't have a huge amount of detail. Okay, I didn't explain this in this video, but I did in the video where I made like the prototype of Jake Paul's house. So before I made this tutorial, I made a video showing you guys this house. You might or might not have saw it. I explained that this is a simple version of Jake Paul's house. This is not like as detailed, as insanely detailed as you can get. You can make a house that is a lot more detailed, that looks a lot more like Jake Paul's house. But if you wanted to make a tutorial for that house, if you wanted to build that house, it would take hours. Hours upon hours upon hours. Whereas this house is probably like a 1.5 to maybe 2 hours worth of work. If you wanted to make a hyper-realistic, not even like hyper-realistic, like mostly realistic version of the house, it would take so long. It would take so many hours that you would not want to do it, trust me. Or at least you wouldn't want to follow the tutorial. The tutorial would be like 4 hours long, which is insane. It's a long time to build a house, but it could absolutely be done. The real house does have a lot more detail than this house does offer. This tutorial is for you guys that just want like a cool, very, very similar house, but not like every detail is the same. The house has been modified to make it easier for YouTube, to make it easier for tutorial, and I should have possibly explained that at the start of this video, but I mentioned it in like the preview for the house, so I didn't feel the need to reiterate myself. But that is the right hand side of the house. What are we going to be doing next? Well, the next thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to take, the middle part of the house, the top middle part of the house. You want to take the light grey concretes that you have on the middle part of the house, at the top, these ones, you want to take them and you want to extend them backwards. And the goal with these is to extend the light grey backwards so that you would be able to connect them down to the back of the house. So you want to be able to take the light greys backwards and you want to be able to connect them down to the back of the house. And what we will then be doing once we have accomplished that, so like now that we've extended them back, we want to then place a light grey concrete coming in from the corner blocks like this. We want to place a block of quartz in between the light grey concretes like this, so to connect them together. We want to place block of quartz, light grey, block of quartz light grey coming down from the light grey concretes that come inwards. So very similar to what we have on the front of the house, we want to have a similar deal. On the back of the house, there is no window that I've observed, so we're just going to fill in between this using a block of quartz. That's all we're going to do here. This might take a little while, actually. I didn't realize how long of a row this is. It's quite a widthy row. And what we're then going to do, once we have done this, is we're then going to... You know what? We'll actually fill in the sides. So you want to fill the left-hand side. Let me make sure that I've got this right, actually. Yeah, okay. So we're going to fill the left-hand side and the right-hand side in using block of quartz. I'm not sure whether to add, like, the light grey concretes in. So by that, I mean, like, you know that how we have, like, this light grey concrete, like, here? I'm not sure whether to, like, add that in. And this one in. I'm not sure whether to do that. I think I might do it. Yeah, okay. So we're also going to take those light grey concretes and we're also going to fold them in towards the back. Not that it makes a massive amount of difference because, like, you'll barely see this portion of the house. And especially once the roof's been added in too, you're not going to see a massive amount. But, like, that's that side done. We'll do the same on the other side. Like, we'll add in those light greys too. And we want to fill this side in also majoritively using quartz block, except for those four light grey concrete. So that'll be the one here and one here. And we're just going to place the block of quartz here in between these two sides. So once these are done, we can then move on to the next part of this, which is going to be forming the roof for this big middle part. This big middle part has a roof that is a bit different. It's actually not that different. It's actually very similar to a roof that we've done already, but I'll show you guys what I mean in a second. So we filled all that in. We then want to place upside down quartz stairs all the way around the top of this. So we want to place upside down quartz stairs all the way around the top of this, just on top of the light grey. And, well, I mean, also on the quartz, you know, on the back as well, but you guys get the idea. It wants to go all the way around the top of this. And then we are going to, we're going to then place the row of quartz, because I do believe it's quartz afterwards, like we've got the stairs. And then we're going to place a row of quartz slab that comes all the way around the top of this. And we're just going to connect the, basically just one side to another, right? Like if you can see it there, we've just extended the right-hand side back. It's coming around the actual back, and then it's going to, like, come back around like a boomerang, and it will connect all the way to the opposite side. We're basically just making like a big giant U shape, which connects together to make a rectangular shape. We're then going to do the same with the stone brick slabs, and what we're not going to do, once we've done the same with the stone brick slabs again, it's just looping around the top of this, just like half a row above, just skirting around the top of it. It will leave a big hole in the top of the build, but we're going to leave that alone. So once we have created this big giant hole using these stone brick slabs, we are going to leave it alone. So we'll have something which should look like that, yeah? We're going to leave that alone though, because we're also going to have to do a similar deal on like the left hand side and the right hand side. We're going to fill all of the roofs in one go basically. So we're going to leave that alone, but from the back of the house, we should have something which looks very, very similar to this. So what we're going to do next, so this part of the house, what we want to do is on the back where we have the rows of light grey on the left hand side and the right hand side, well, you want to extend that those rows of light grey down. You want to place rows of light grey coming down, all the way down through the back of the build, coming from the top all the way down to the bottom. So like this, from the top to the bottom, like that. And you should create like a box shape. So you should have something which should look very similar to this. But what you then want to do is you want to take those rows of light grey that you've just placed, and we'll also include, like, we'll destroy these stairs. So like these, the two stairs. Starting from where we just destroyed the stairs, you want to place a row of block of quartz in front of these rows that come from like the top to the bottom. So you want to place the block of quartz coming all the way up from the top to the bottom, like that. And then you want to place 3 more rows of you want to place, yeah, 2 more rows will make it. 2 more rows of block of quartz coming outwards. So that's going to be like 1 and then 2. So in total, 3 rows of block of quartz coming outwards, from those initial rows of light grey that we just placed, connecting from the top to the bottom, like that. We're then going to place 2 inward diagonal rows of quartz coming inwards towards the center, so like 1 and 2. And if you come to the opposite side as well, we're going to have like 1 and 2. We're going to connect them together on the outward part, so we're going to like connect them together like that, just like that, right? And then we're going to place rows of block of quartz just in front of this. So we're going to like build up all of these rows of block of quartz to create like, this is like a massive part of the back of the house. Like, there's not a massive amount of detail that I've decided to put in for the back of the house because it's really like, the original version is really insane, but we just want to build all of these rows of block of quartz coming from the top to the bottom like this. We just want to have all of these rows pulled up and filled in so that they are equal height going all the way around. So we're just gonna do all of this, fill all of these in. It will take a while because it is quite a large area that we have decided to fill in here, but you know, it'll absolutely be worth it, I'm sure, once it's all done. Where are we here? Have we almost done? Yeah, we've got like 5 more rows here just coming towards the left, and then we can add in like windows and stuff, because there are windows, and there's not only a balcony, more like a terrace, I guess. There's like a big balcony, and there's also like a large back porch area, which we also have to build as well. So once we've added up all of these rows here, so all of these rows now are as high as each other, what we then want to do is we want to take, and this is the best way I can describe this. So you can see where we have the row of light grey here on the left that cuts the build in the middle. You want to take the light grey that connects to the middle part, and you want to place in front of this light grey you want to place a block of quartz, and then you want to go left by 2 using the block of quartz, 1, 2, then place a light grey concrete, extend that light grey concrete towards you by 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then what you want to do is you want to come to the opposite side here, and you've once again found the row of light grey concrete that connects like the middle part to the middle, like the light grey that cuts the middle in half. You want to take the light grey that touches the middle, you want to place a block of quartz in front of this, then extend that to the right by 2, 1, 2, place a light grey, and extend that light grey coming outwards like this, and you want to be able to connect it to the opposite side of this. So you want to be able to connect one side to the other just like that. We're going to fill the middle of this in using block of quartz, so we just want the middle of this filled in using block of quartz one side to the other, just like this. This is going to create the balcony area that I talked about a little earlier on as well. So this is going to be the balcony area. So it's in our best interest, just so that we don't fall straight through the balcony, it's in our best interest to actually like fill this area in, because otherwise it'd just look a little bit weird anyway, just having like a big giant gaping hole on the back of the house. It really wouldn't look that good at all, would it? So we're just going to have this all filled in using the block of quartz, and once we do have this sorted out, once this has been filled in, give it a moment. There we go, perfect. We can move on to the next bit. So the next bit is going to be us connecting the corners of the balcony down to the ground using pillar quartz blocks. So that corner, and then we're going to take the other corner as well, going to connect it down to the ground using pillar quartz block. But then what we want to do is we want to take the bottom of this and we want to connect it together using block of quartz. So if you connect all of the bottom together using block of quartz, like you connect it left to right, and then to the back of the house, the back of the house is like here, like where you have the light grey, so like here, and you can do the same on the opposite side as well. Like it wants to follow basically the same trajectory as it does just up above. So if you have a look, like it wants to like just be the same as the terrace that is just above it. And what you then want to do is you want to add an additional row of quartz block on top of this. So you want to have in total 2 rows of block of quartz going all the way around the top of this, just like that. Like this. And that can connect back to the middle as well. And I'm just going to move through the middle onto this opposite side. And I'm also going to add the row of block of quartz just like that. And then you can start from either side, like wherever you have the pillar quartz block, you want to leave a gap of 1 and place a block of quartz. Gap of 1, block of quartz, so on and so forth. And you want to have this coming all the way across the back like this. And it also wants to come towards the center as well, so like where the center of the house is. And we would have a wall here. I'm actually going to build up this wall here, just below the balcony. And I'm just going to have it connect to the upper part of the balcony as well. I think you guys should do the same thing as well. So like you can just fill that wall in there using block of quartz. We'd have to do it anyway. And that way you have something to attach the railings to. So like we're just going to then fill in this side as well using the block of quartz. We're going to connect the top to the bottom just like this. And what we could even do as well, I guess, is you could even like then continue going upwards, and you could then fill in like just like from the bottom all the way up to the top, just filling in using block of quartz. And then if you come to the opposite side also, I guess I should have done it whilst I was on this side, but you guys get the point. You want to extend it all the way up to the top just like this using block of quartz. So we want to have something which should look like that. And you also want to connect all of those quartz blocks together at the top using quartz slabs. So connect them all together at the top using quartz slabs. This creates a nice sort of like railing sort of deal. It looks really nice like this. It looks a lot better. So you want to do this coming all the way around the bottom. And we are also going to create a walkway as well in a moment, but once you've done that, you then want to create, like, because this is a porch area, we want to have a walk, like an area to walk on. You want to take the second row of block of quartz, and you want to fill in the very back of this in using block of quartz itself. So like you want to fill this area in using block of quartz, if that makes sense. Like you want to have the second row of block of quartz. Like this is where you want to join it all together. You want to connect this all together using block of quartz. So like right here, from here, just fill it all in using block of quartz. And that will allow us to then be able to literally like just walk straight into the back of the house, because this is a porch area. It does actually want to be occupied by some sort of block. If you don't want to use block of quartz, stone brick slabs or stone bricks themselves would look very nice like this too. It's kind of up to you, you know, how you want to do things. But I'm using block of quartz, and then I'm actually going to make stairs out of stone brick slabs. I don't think I'm going to use stone brick stairs. So we want to have something which should very much look like that so far. And you know how we have these railings on the lower part of the house? We want the same on the upper part of the house as well. So like where you have the light grey concrete, you want to extend the corners up. And then you want to place a block of quartz every other block. So just as you did down below, you want to have the same sort of deal up here too. So every other block you want to place the block of quartz. And then we will also connect those together using quartz slabs. So like we want to connect the top of these all together using quartz slabs just like that. And that will look really nice. Once again, it's just a nice little bit of added detail. If you wanted to, you could, once again, you could like place the quartz slabs on top of them and connect them together like that. Instead of like interconnecting them, you could just like draw a line going all the way around the top. So far, we want to have something which should very much look like that. Now it's time to add in windows. So take the second story, and where we have this very large wide open row of block of quartz, you want to start from the very bottom left hand side. So this very bottom left hand corner. So starting from this very bottom left hand corner block, you want to, moving right, do this pattern. You want to leave this block alone, dig out the next 3 blocks going right. That's 1, 2, 3. Leave a gap of 1, dig out 3. 1, 2, 3. Leave a gap of 1, dig out 3. Gap of 1, dig out 3, gap of 1, dig out 3. So the effect that you're looking for should very much look like that. You then want to take this middle area and you want to, above the row of 3, you want to knock out 2 rows. 1, 2. We then want to use the black concrete to form a doorway. So basically, all the way around the inside of the top of this, we just want to place a row of black concrete. So that creates a doorway. Up above all of the other empty spaces that we've destroyed, we want to destroy 3 additional rows up above. So that's 1, 2, 3, and then the center block. And then that's 1, 2, 3, center block. And then 1, 2, 3, destroy the center. 1, 2, 3, destroy the center. These are all windows. So all of these can be filled in using glass. Specifically, I really like black glass. The house is mostly white, so I mean, yeah, like pretty much like almost like 100% white. So black glass contrasts nicely. It looks really good. So we want to have something which should look like that. Now that we've done that to the top, we actually want to do a very similar thing to the bottom. So like if we come down here and we start from the, like this is the big area on the bottom. You start from the very bottom left hand corner. You leave this block alone, and then you dig out 3 blocks to the right. 1, 2, 3. Leave a gap of 1, dig out 3. Gap of 1, 1, 2, 3. Gap of 1, 1, 2, 3. Gap of 1, 1, 2, 3. You take the middle and destroy 2 rows above. 1, 2. Then place a layer of black concrete around the inside of this, leaving 2 rows at the very bottom center that you can easily walk in and out of the house. All of the other gaps you do the same as we did up above. You knock out 3 rows above the space. 1, 2, 3, and then the middle. And then 1, 2, 3, middle. And then 1, 2, 3, middle. 1, 2, 3, middle. And then, of course, we're going to fill all of this in using black stained glass block. So I should have mentioned this earlier, but I mean, there's not even that many windows, so it's easily reversible. If you want to use pane, use pane. I'm just kind of like, I'm coming around to black block for some reason, or glass block in general, not just black glass. I'm kind of coming around to like glass blocks in general. I kind of just like how they look. So that is what we want to have so far. Well, here's the deal. We do want to be able to get on and off of the porch at the bottom. So if you knock out the 3 blocks that correspond, like this is the entrance on the back, yeah? If you knock out all of these 3 blocks that correspond with the entrance on the back, and then knock out an additional, like, I don't know, like 2 on the left, 1, 2, and 2 on the right, 1, 2, like this. And then if you use your, like, block of quartz to kind of, like, create a small, like if you take the block of quartz that are remaining and then you kind of like join them together on the ground like this, like using a diagonal row of block of quartz. You could even make that fancier by using like quartz slab to create like perhaps like a bit more of like a dramatic drop. So like you could like place quartz slab like this, kind of like to create like perhaps a bit more of a dramatic drop, so like similar to what we did on the front of the house like this. You might want to do that. It's kind of completely up to you. I'm gonna do that because why not? You can just copy the other side now. It's easier to build up from the bottom, from the top, if you know where it's going like that. And then all that means is that we can just place a couple of rows of like stone brick slabs. I'm gonna place 1 coming in from the bottom, and I'm gonna place 1 coming down from the top. And then I see that I have 2 rows in the middle, so I'm gonna place 1 here and 1 here, and then we have now like a gradual ascent using stone brick slabs, just like from the bottom coming all the way up to the top, just like that. We want to then, once we've reached this point right here, we're then going to fill in the rest of the back of the house using block of quartz. So like we have 2 big holes, actually 4 if you count, like, you know, like because they're kind of like separated with the middle row of light grey concrete. We have 4 big holes in the house, soon to be 3. We have 3 big holes in the house. All of these can be filled in using block of quartz. I've decided to add no windows in on the left hand side of the house, although some do appear in the actual proper version. I've decided to leave it blank because once again, like small details and stuff, I'm more than happy for you guys to add those yourself. but I didn't want to add all of them like minute details that you got with the back of this house. It's up to you whether you guys want to add it, but I've chosen to like remain the back of the house blank, especially considering how much detail is present on the front of the house. Like, if this house wanted to be made like as detailed as possible, like I said, the only way to get that done would be to devote hours and hours and hours on this house, and I don't think anybody would want to build like a 4-hour long tutorial. Maybe some of you guys out there would actually. I don't know, but like it'd be such a long tutorial, guys. Trust me. So if you want to add more detail to the house, once again, I don't know how many times I'm going to say this. I repeat myself a lot, so probably quite a few. But if you want to add more detail, add that detail, guys. Definitely add it. It's up to you to add it all. It's if you want to add more, you add more. Trust me. It's completely up to you. But we're currently filling in the left-hand side part of the house using our block of quartz. Once this has been filled in, the next part of our agenda is going to be to fill in the very many various roofs around the house, which are all very easy to do, by the way. They're all very, very simple. We've got a few very small roofs, and then we've got like 3 big giant roofs to fill in, which are none of those are fun. So we'll actually like do a lot of the roof building off recording, so you know it's not going to be so bad. I mean, you guys will still have to build the roof obviously, but you won't have to hear me moan about it for, you know, God knows how long in a row. So we're just going to fill all of this in using block of quartz like this, and that will leave the back of the house looking like that. Which, like I said, like there could be more detail here, but if you guys want to add it, that is completely up to you. Let's talk about the roof. So you guys might be able to see that on the back here, obviously we've kind of there's going to be a roof on the back here, yeah. But first, our story begins on the front of the house. So come to the front of the house once the back has been complete. We want to start off the roof. You know where we have the this big middle part of the porch, like that has a row of stone brick slabs on the top of the porch? We want to place a row of stone brick slabs that extends from that porch roof, that sits half a row above the top of the house using stone brick slabs. We want to have the stone brick slabs once again sit half a row above the top of the house, and the stone brick slabs want to go all the way around the house. So they want to dance, like if you might have noticed like the windows on the front of the house, yeah, how they like stick out a bit. We want to have the stone brick slabs dance around those particular points of the house, and we want to have a similar deal. Well, actually, on the back is a little bit different. I'll show you how that all works out later on. Like that's one of the unique parts of this roof, is that we want to we'll do the back separately. Like you've got the 2 big halves of the roof, the left hand side and the right hand side, and we have the smaller parts of the roof, which are on the front and the back. We have this little part on the left and that part on the right, but we want to go all the way around the house like this using the stone brick slabs, and you can kind of see like it follows the shape quite nicely, just like that, yeah? Perfect. So we then want to, now that we've done that, we want to take the smaller roofs into consideration. So we're going to take this tower that we have here on the front of the house, and I think we're actually going to knock a row off the top of the tower. We're going to knock a row off the top of the tower so that the roof fits a little better. And then we're going to place a row of stone brick slabs that sits in front of the top of the roof. And we're going to have just a row of stone brick slabs that goes from like all the way, like it just wants to sit just inside around the top of this part of the tower. And we're then just going to add another row of stone brick slabs that like just sits half a row above and a row inside of this. So we want to have this sort of effect. We want to have like a row of stone brick slabs that goes all the way around the tower, and then we want to have another row that sits half a row above and inside of this. And then we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to have a row of stone brick slabs that sits just half a row above and inside the tower like that. And then we're going to finish this off with a final row of stone brick slabs, just like this, to sit in front, just to sit like this. And we might even place just like, maybe just like here, just like a final block just up at the top. So you can see like the tower portion of this, we've just shrunk it at the top by 1 just to make the roof fit a little bit better. It looks a bit nicer like that. And we just have the building rows of stone brick slabs building up like that. On the back of the house, we want to do a similar thing. So like on the back of the house, we're going to, I don't actually know whether to like do this because it will fit a little bit better like this. Let me show you. So I kind of want to place like a row of stone brick slabs that sits like above the top of this. So like, I think that it'd be cool if the stone brick slabs like just sat around the top of the edge of this particular part of the building, like where the porch is, like this, because then that would like feed in directly to the roof, like that. That feeds in perfectly like that. And then I'm just going to place like the same thing that we just did like with the tower. We're just going to place a layer of stone brick slabs that just sits gently inside the top of the empty space here. Like it's just going to curve around and it's just going to do the same sort of thing as the tower did. So like one row above, it wants to touch at the corners. It wants to connect directly to the corners. And then we're just going to have it build up and up and up until eventually the space is going to become so small that it'd look a little bit weird. So like, that's actually going to happen very, very soon. So the space is eventually going to become so small that the shape will become a little bit weird and it will just become like flat, basically. So just like that. And then we just probably have like one more row after this in us. So we're just going to do like one more, just like that. And that's just flat. Have I done the roof differently from one side to the other? So we've like built that up, that up, that up. Why is this side different to that side then? I actually have no idea why that would be different, but it actually looks kind of normal anyway. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to like take these stone slabs here. I guess I'll connect, I guess like, what is it, like that? Is that, oh yeah, I guess that's what I've done on the opposite side, and then that's nice and even. And then we have a roof that just sits gently on top of the roof like that. Very, very simple indeed. And what you could even do, like if you're not satisfied with that, you could even extend the roof like down by an additional row, like it could just peek under this roof, and you could keep going with it until the roof is like as low or as high as you wanted. But I kind of like the idea of it just sitting in line with the big roof. So now that that's done, we have like the roof on the back, we have that little mini roof on the front done as well. All that means is that we now have to take the big parts of the roof, so like the right hand side, the left hand side, and this is how we're going to do it. We're going to place 3 rows of roof coming inwards. So let me show you, like it will be like this, this, and this. And we basically just want to place rows of stone brick slabs coming inwards, half a row above inwards diagonally, like on the right hand side of the house and on the left hand side of the house. And we're just going to have it come up so far. We don't want to have it come up infinitely, have it come up until it like eventually fizzles out. We want to have large flat sections of the roof. So like on the back, I'm also going to place like the guiders here and here. And we basically just want to have like 3 layers of roof in addition to the original layer. So that is like 4 layers in general. And we're just going to have them go from front to back, back to front. And we're just going to connect one side to the other side, just like this. And then that will leave 2 big flat portions, one on the left hand side, one on the right hand side, and the middle as well, the big middle part of the roof to be filled in. All that will mean is that we then have to fill those in using just using stone brick slabs, basically. So, like I said, I'm just going to fill all of this in. I'm going to put all of these guiding rows of stone brick slabs in because, I mean, I have to do these anyway. I'd rather keep this tutorial as short as possible, but it's so hard because, like, this house is so big anyway. So, that's what we want to have, right? So you can see that the roof's going to come up about as high as this, and then we just want to then fill it in using stone brick slabs. Like, we'll be filling it in like that, except everywhere. To do these like sticky out parts of the roof, we're going to place a row of stone brick slabs here and here just to cover in the empty space. So we just want to have that and that. So that's all we have to do. If you want, you could even like add in like an additional row here, like there, just if you want to have it look a little bit pointier. And you could even like do it again, like you could have it like there, and then that's as high as the roof goes anyway. Like if you want to create like a bit of a point rather than just like a flat part of the roof where it kind of like falls off. But if we come to the left hand side of the roof, it's the same thing. So like we have this first row of the roof, and then we want to diagonally like 1, 2, 3, and we want to just like connect one side to the other. We want to build up the rows. We want to build up the shape of the roof. What did I destroy? That's an upside down quartz stairs block. We want to build up the shape of the roof. We want to build up the angle of the roof, and then we're just going to fill the top of it in with the remaining stone brick slabs. So we just want to fill it in with the remaining stone brick slabs, just like this, and like that. Cool. And then we've got like 1, 2 more to do after this, and then we, like I said, we'll fill in the flat parts with the stone brick slabs, and then that will be the roofs done. Once all of that's done, there's not too much house left to build. Like the house itself will be done like once the roof's been done, but there's a couple of things to do to the house which will make the house look better. Like there's a little bit that you could do to the house to make it look better, which I will be showing you in this video, but I won't be showing you how to do all of it. I'll just be like laying the groundwork for it. You guys will see what I mean when I get to it. But we want to have something which should look like that. So you can see that that roof is equal to the roof on the right. All that has to be done is we just have to fill all of those roofs in with stone brick slabs. So that would be the house complete by then. Like once you've done that, like you've done a huge part of the house. Well done if you've made it this far. Very well done. But there's a few more things that can be done to make this house look just a bit nicer. So basically in front of the garages we have some drives, right? So I'm going to grab black concrete for this, and I'm going to grab stone slabs. I'm going to take the very left hand side of the left garage. So like this is the bottom of the left garage, and I'm going to dig into the ground, and I'm going to move left by 1, and I'm then going to move that left block. I'm going to dig in front of this block until this block is like equal in length to where the stairs connect to the ground. So if you can imagine, like we've dug from the left garage, we've dug left by 1, and we've extended this forwards until it is equal in length to the this block here. I'm then going to dig all the way to the right, and I want to be able to dig to the right, and I want to dig until I am 1 block to the right of the right garage, if that makes sense. So I've dug until I'm like 1 block right of the right garage. I want to fill in this area using black concrete. So this is just defining the drives. It's going to make it look a little bit nicer. That's all we're doing. I want to fill in this area with black concrete, and I'm showing you how I like arrived at this point. So we have a big square. We don't really want a big square though. We want to round this off on the corners. So to round this off on the corners, on the left hand side, we're going to leave this corner block alone, this green, and we're going to destroy this and this, and we're going to replace that with black. And then we're just going to destroy the 4 blocks surrounding the corner like this. So we've now managed to round that off. And if we come to the right hand side, we want to leave this inside corner block alone. We want to destroy this block and this block, place black. And then we want to destroy all of those blocks on the outside of the corner to make a rounded area. We then want to connect the middle parts of the garage. So destroy the blocks in the ground, and you want to connect the middle parts of the garage like this. And this as well. And also this, we want to destroy all of these blocks, and we want to connect them to the outside. And we want to take those rows that we've destroyed, and we want to place black concrete inside of these. And what this does is this defines the edge of the drive, and it also like separates each one of the 4 garages like in the ground. What we would then do, which I'm not going to do in the tutorial, is we would then fill these in using stone slabs, just like that. So I would then fill in each one of these areas with stone slabs, which I'm not going to do on tutorial. I also want to define the area, like I want to grab white concrete, I want to take the very bottom left hand side of where this staircase takes us onto the porch, and I want to dig out in front of this by like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I want to dig all the way to the right, and I want to connect this to the front right hand corner of the house. So we want to have basically a walking area from like the front right hand side of the house all the way to like where the porch is, to where the front of the house is. So we want to have like a nice big white concrete area that, you know, that is like meant for walking on. That's all this is. It's just like meant for walking on, just like, hang on, I'm just filling in this area just like this. So you can see there that we now have like an area to also fill in, like all of that area would be filled in with white concrete. I'm going to use jungle leaves as well. I'm going to build up an area of jungle leaves surrounding the steps, kind of coming all the way around the left hand side of the house here. And I want a layer of jungle leaves to just kind of like go around the porch area, and it'll just like connect somewhere on the left hand side of the house like this. And I plan on building up the jungle leaves to kind of like just fill in this empty space. So I'm going to build up all of these jungle leaves to kind of like just create a nice bush here on the left hand side. It'll look very natural and stuff once it's done. And on the right hand side, I want the same sort of deal. So on the right hand side, I kind of like want some jungle leaf bushes on the right hand side connecting to here. And I kind of just want to create like a sort of like a natural-ish sort of like bush area here too. And you know, it can come up as high as wherever, even as far as that, to kind of just like hide just underneath the porch. Also on the front, I want to use lime terracotta, and I want to create some fake grass. So I'm actually going to create an area like this, just kind of like a jagged area, kind of like, you know, sort of like not man-made looking. And this is actually going to connect from the front of the house, and it's actually just, I want to check where I did it on the back. And it's actually going to come all the way to the back of the house like this. Like, eventually, like, it'll just come in. And it'll just come in all the way to the very back of the house. It like snakes in and it snakes around and it does whatever. It wants to come all the way to the back of the house like this. Make sure that we do actually have a line here. And it's going to come all the way to the back of the house. And it's actually going to like dig around the back around the back of the house as well. And I'm just going to fill a lot of artificial grass in this area, like on the left hand side of the house. But if we come to the back of the house, like I want to have like an area on the back of the house as well. So where we have the porch on the back of the house, I want to have like a walking area. So I'm going to dig in between the steps on the back of the house. I'm going to dig in between here, and I'm going to have white concrete. And then I'm going to dig 5 rows coming back. Or yeah, 5 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I want this area as well to be white concrete. So like, I want to have 5 rows to walk on the like into the back of the house like that. But I also want to extend this area. I want to extend it to the right. And I also want to have a path that leads us like, I want to have a path that leads us, that connects us back to the house that we can choose to walk on if we want to. And I want to have it kind of connect like this. Like I want to have like a path of free white concrete that I can like walk on, that connects like one side of the house to the other side of the house. Like it connects the middle to the back, if that makes sense. So I like want to have like a 3-block walkway. Like from like, I mean, you guys can kind of like see where this is going, right? So I want to have like a 3-block walkway from here that leads to that side of the house. And in doing that, I'll want to have the same sort of thing on this side as well. So I want to like extend the porch here, like the walking area, the white concrete, and I want to have it go 1, 2, 3. And where's the grass block? So here, and then I'm going to want to be able to like have 3 rows to walk around. Maybe I'll even extend it. So I want to be able to have like 3 rows that I can walk around the around like the porch, and also I want to be able to like walk around the back. So these are just some like guiding lines. This is how like I sort of like set things up. It's up to you like how like whether you want to add in these same paths and stuff. But I will tell you that on the original version of the houses, like you can pretty much access everywhere like via path. Which is why I'm kind of like stuck on the idea of being able to being very connected to the rest of the house. So like there'll be a path here, and I also want to have a path to the opposite side of the house as well. So like what we just did like on the right hand side, I want to be able to do the same thing on the left. Like I want to have a white concrete path coming back. And what I'll also do on the back of the house as well, so like now that I've kind of like set out where I want some paths to be like on this side, and I want some paths on that side as well, I'll obviously like also like you have some grass, like I'll have the grass connect on the back to here, and I'll also have an area as well on the back where I have like a big part of artificial grass, which I'm only using lime terracotta for. Like I'll have the lime terracotta like here, and I'll just have like a big patch of grass, like left hand side, right hand side, all grass. I'll probably round that off a bit more. So basically, like what I'll also do as well, like on this side, and I might have to alter things a bit, but like I just want some bushes here on the back. I might not even alter things. Like I want to have some bushes on the back of the house, kind of like I do on the front. Like I just want to have some bushes like covering up a portion of the porch like this. Just want to like cover up a portion of the porch on the back, on the right hand side and also the left. I want to add white concrete going all the way around the back. I'm going to add in artificial grass on the front of the house and the back. I'm going to add in the white concrete path on the front. I'm going to fill in the drives. I'm also going to fill in the roofs, and I'll show you guys what that looks like. Like all of that, what I've just described, what I'm going to do. I've showed you guys the lines that I've drawn. I've showed you guys the sort of similar paths that you can take. How to, all that's left is just like digging it out and filling it in. So that's how I'm going to finish this, guys. I'm going to dig out all of that. I'm going to fill in all of the parts that need filling in, including the roof, including the paths, including the drive, including all of it. And I'll be back once I've done that. I'm going to cut that out of the tutorial. I'm not going to show this part in the tutorial because it's going to take absolutely ages. And I'll be back once that has all been done, guys. So I'll be back in just a moment. It will be like that for you, and it will be ages for me. Back in a moment. Alright, guys. Well, that took such a long time. That actually took like 20 minutes, like half an hour. But what we have accomplished is we have added some bushes to the left-hand side of the porch. And I believe we already had those bushes on the right-hand side of the porch before we left. We filled in this path area on the front of the house, which leads us up to the steps and also around the driveway. The driveway itself has also been filled in using these stone slabs. We've also filled in the grass area to the left, and as you can see, it does make a lot of difference. Like on the front of the house, it does make quite a bit of difference. It does look a lot nicer. And if we come to the back of the house now, what we have here is we have a nice bit of a patio area in front of the porch. We have a bit of a walkway on the left-hand side and the right-hand side, leading to the left-hand side and the right-hand side of the house respectively. We also have some bushy areas next to the steps as well to cover up a bit of the porch, and we also have some more fake grass, which all takes a long time to do. And we've also filled in the roofs as well. So the right roof and left roof have been filled in with stone slabs, and the upper roof I think looks a bit better using some quartz blocks. So that's all just filled in with quartz. The quartz is set half a row down from like where the roof, like you can see, like you've got the stone slabs, then the quartz slabs, and then like the quartz blocks are just half a row down from that. I've also filled in all of the windows using black concrete, except for the front door. For the front door, I've actually added a backdrop of white concrete, just because I thought that it'd look a little bit better. And if you want to improve the area a little bit more, if you pop a potion of night vision and or just use a lot more lighting, like the house looks a lot more impressive like that. Like you don't have the dark shadows under the porch anymore. It just looks a lot nicer. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the house. That is probably one of the longer tutorials that I have ever made, but it's absolutely worth it, especially if you want to have this awesome house. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, please do remember to hit that like button. I really appreciate that. I honestly would. If you like the video, it lets me know that you enjoy the content, but it also lets me know that you want to see Logan Paul's house. I've been thinking about making it recently. I think that I might go through with it, and I think that I might make it. If you leave a comment down below letting me know whether or not that's true as well, if you do want to see Logan Paul's house in Minecraft, then, you know, please do let me know also by leaving a comment, not only just leaving a like. Subscribe to the channel if you would like to see more stuff by me. If you hit the subscribe button, please click the little bell next to the subscription button to ensure that you get all my stuff sent directly to your sub box, because otherwise you might just not get it. And it's kind of annoying to like make a video and have nobody see it just because like they don't get the notification in their sub box. And if you do want to check out more of my content, including Jake Paul's old house, the old Team 10 house, check out the card system and the description below. Not only will you find stuff like that, you'll be able to find Jake Paul's old house, but I'll also recommend the cartoon builds playlist, where you'll be able to find all sorts of cartoons / movies / TV series / comics / all sorts of cool houses that you guys could see. You might be able to see like quite a few of those as I pan around a little bit. But I also make regular stuff as well, as you might be able to see a couple of suburban builds in the background too. But that's pretty much everything, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed the video. I hope you liked the video. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.